Hello and welcome to this lesson on interpreting distance time graphs. By the time you finish this video, you will be able to explain what a distance time graph shows, interpret different sections of the graph, and calculate speed using the gradient. Let's get started. Let's take a closer look at how to interpret distance time graphs. First, look at the axes appearing on the screen. On the horizontal axis, we have time measured in minutes, and on the vertical axis, we have distance measured in meters. A distance time graph shows how far an object travels over a period of time. Now the first section of the graph appears. Notice the blue line rising upwards from 0 meters to 5 meters. As time increases, the distance also increases. This tells us the object is moving away from the starting point. Because the line is straight, the speed is constant. The object is traveling steadily without changing speed. Now the next section appears. Look carefully at the flat yellow line. Even though time is still passing, the distance stays at 5 meters. That means the object has stopped moving. It remains in the same position for a period of time. Now the orange line slopes downward towards 0. This means the distance from the starting point is decreasing, so the object is returning back towards where it started. Again, the straight line shows the movement happens at a constant speed. In a distance time graph, the gradient represents speed. A steeper line means the object is moving faster because the distance changes more quickly. A less steep line means the object is moving more slowly. Speed is calculated by dividing distance by time. This tells us how much distance is traveled during a certain amount of time. Finally, look at the last formula appearing at the bottom. Average speed is calculated by dividing the total distance traveled by the total time taken for the whole journey. So remember, a rising line means moving away. A flat line means stopped. A falling line means returning back. And the steeper the gradient, the faster the speed. Now let's dive into some exam-style practice questions. You can pause the video and try yourself. Jake walks 9 kilometers from his home to a museum. We're given part of his journey on a distance time graph, and we need to interpret what is happening. In this example, we'll calculate his speed at a specific time, work out how long he stopped, find his overall average speed, and then complete the rest of the graph. This is exactly the type of multi-step question you might see in your exam, where reading the graph carefully makes all the difference. Now let's move on to question 1. The question asks, find Jake's speed at 2:00 p.m. Now let's read the graph carefully. We want to find the speed during the first part of the journey before 2:00. Look at the graph on the right. At 1:15 p.m., Jake is at 0 kilometers from home. Then at 2:00 p.m., Jake is at 4.5 kilometers from home. So the distance traveled is 4.5 kilometers. Now let's look at the time taken. From 1:15 to 2:00 is 45 minutes. But remember, speed is usually measured in kilometers per hour. So we must convert 45 minutes into hours. 45 minutes is equal to 0.75 hours. Now we are ready to calculate the speed. Speed is calculated by dividing distance by time. So we divide 4.5 by 0.75. That gives us 6. So Jake's speed was 6 kilometers per hour. And that's our final answer. Now let's move on to question 2. You can pause the video and try it yourself first. The question asks, how long did Jake stop on the way to the museum? To answer this question, we need to identify where Jake stopped moving. Look carefully at the graph. The flat section of the graph shows that the distance from home does not change. That means Jake is stationary during this part of the journey. Now let's find the start and end times of the flat section. The flat line begins at 1.75 hours, which is 1:45 p.m., and it ends at 2.00 hours, which is 2:00 p.m. Now we subtract the times. 2.00 minus 1.75 gives 0.25 hours. But the question asks for the answer in minutes. So we convert 0.25 hours into minutes by multiplying by 60. 0.25 multiplied by 60 equals 15. So Jake stopped for 15 minutes, and that's our final answer. Now let's move on to question 3. You can pause the video and try it yourself. The question asks, what was Jake's overall average speed from home to the museum, correct to 3 significant figures? Now, before we calculate anything, let's think carefully about what the phrase overall average speed actually means. Overall average speed looks at the entire journey from start to finish. That means we must include every part of the journey, including the time when Jake stopped moving. A very common mistake in exams is forgetting to include the stopping time. But average speed uses the total distance traveled divided by the total time taken for the whole journey. Now let's identify the total distance first. Look at the graph. Jake starts at 0 kilometers from home and finishes at 9 kilometers. So the total distance traveled is 9 kilometers. Now let's identify the total time taken. Jake starts his journey at 1 o'clock and reaches the museum at 3 o'clock. From 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock is 2 hours in total. And remember, this includes the stopping time shown by the flat section of the graph. Even though Jake was not moving during that part, time was still passing. So we must include it in the total journey time. Now we are ready to calculate the overall average speed. Average speed is calculated by dividing the total distance by the total time. So we divide 9 by 2. That gives us 4.5. Now the question asks for the answer correct to 3 significant figures. At the moment, we only have 2 significant figures in 4.5. So we write the answer as 4.50 kilometers per hour. The 0 is important because it shows the answer is written to 3 significant figures. Now let's move on to question 4. You can pause the video and try it yourself. The question says, Jake stayed at the museum for half an hour, then walked back home at a steady pace without stopping, arriving home at 4 o'clock p.m. We need to complete the travel graph for Jake's journey. Now let's read the information carefully, step by step. First, Jake arrives at the museum at 3 o'clock. We can see that on the graph where the journey reaches 9 kilometers from home. Next, the question says, Jake stayed at the museum for half an hour. That means Jake was not moving during that time. And remember, when someone stops moving on a distance, time graph, we draw a flat horizontal line. So from 3 o'clock to 3:30 p.m., the graph stays flat at 9 kilometers. Now let's look at the next part. The question says Jake walked back home at a steady pace without stopping. Walking back home means the distance from home decreases, so the line must slope downward. And because he walks at a steady pace, the line should be straight. Finally, the question says he arrives home at 4 o'clock p.m. Home is 0 kilometers from home. So the graph must finish at 4 o'clock on the horizontal axis and 0 kilometers on the vertical axis. To complete the graph, we connect the points using one straight downward line from 3:30 p.m. at 9 kilometers down to 4 o'clock at 0 kilometers. Now the journey is complete, so let's summarize what we added to the graph. First, a flat line for the 30-minute stop at the museum, then a straight downward line to show Jake returning home at a constant speed,